Would you echo Mr. Navalny's conviction that, quote, Putin is himself the father of Russian corruption and that the people around Mr. Putin are the most corrupt of all? Would you agree with that?
I say this a lot of times, and also I would mention that I personally make a lot of effort into some of the investigations of Navalny, and you can speak with him and he will confirm it to you. At least 2 his investigations were done with my help. So of course I think the whole system is corrupt, and of course the system was built by Putin.
So you'd like to see Putin investigated and charged?
But what I'm saying, that I don't like when people personally insult him, and Alexei Navalny is also doing this. He was coming on the square and saying, look, he has Botox in his face. This I detest. I don't like to speak personally.
But you're accusing him of criminal corruption. You're accusing Mr. Putin of criminal corruption.
But I'm not saying about, you know, the way he looks.
No, forget the way he looks.
I don't call him with some words.
No, I'm not interested in his looks. I'm interested in his criminal corruption. Do you want to see Vladimir Putin put on trial?
I want to see independent trial of all the cases of corruption in Russia. Of course, yes. But also I have a very important goal which I have to reach with Navalny or without Navalny. I want to build in Russia a party after those elections.
You seem to be saying that actually you'd prefer Putin in power with some technocrats around him and some more liberal advisors.
This is not what I mean.
Than you would Mr. Navalny, whom you claim to respect so much.
I just say, and I can say it once again, that between evolution and revolution, I would always choose evolution. And if this way will be done by Putin or by someone else, I think it's the best way for Russia, the evolutionary way of liberalization, the new perestroika. This is my main goal. I don't want another revolution on the streets, because this will be blood and we know how it ends up.
But I'm continuing to wrestle with this simple idea of where you actually sit when it comes to Vladimir Putin and power. For example,
I don't sit with Vladimir Putin.
Well, clear up some confusion for me
with my father when I was 10 years old, but you know, children sometimes really revolt against the system created by someone close to their parents.
So
that's
if you're,
quite logical.
Again, all right, you are the main quote-unquote opposition candidate fighting Vladimir Putin.
I'm not quote-unquote, but I am an opposition leader.
And what happens is this, and it's the most likely scenario according to all the polls, that Vladimir Putin scores an overwhelming, huge victory. And the Kremlin says, look, it was entirely legitimate, we had a real election, there was a choice, the choice was Putin against Sobchak, and Mr. Putin won a very, very, very big mandate. How will you feel about that? Will you feel like a useful idiot?
It will be a legitimate elections, not because of Ksenia Sobchak being on those elections or Alexei Navalny not being or being on the elections. It will be legitimate because your Prime Minister or President of America would be the first ones to call and legitimate it for Mr. Putin by their congratulations. Or maybe have some doubts that your Prime Minister won't do it.
In your own words, you will be very useful legitimating.
No, it's not because of me taking part in those elections, because I fight for my people. I want them to be heard. I want Mr. Putin to see how many people are against him in our country, because there are many people who are against his policy.